Welcome to Burgess Funhouse. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Hello, Raindrops! So I have some new lore theories that I've been thinking on after watching the trailer. The trailer really didn't give me any new ideas, but I don't know. I've just been thinking more about the story because I've been kind of confused how all of this right here with the Bloodmoon family kind of works out. So here is my new theory, and I need to find a way to kind of write it down and put it in writing so it's not as confusing, but I wanted to say it out and hopefully this will make sense. Okay, so we know this lady here is Nocturna, and we believe that this is also her from the video that was referenced before. We don't know for sure, obviously, but we do also see the child here, and then we have this man here who has his face kind of covered or scratched off. I don't know. Recently I have heard the name Grant, and we haven't heard anything about the name Grant other than Peach shared some information. Let me find that for you really quick. Okay, so at one point back in June, Peach posted this answering questions nobody asked part 1, and then she decided to describe all the NPCs by a song. And so here are the others. We'll talk about that in another video, but let's specifically look down here, and it has Nocturna and Grant, which I do find it awfully funny that she has these two together in a separate post. But we look at Grant and it says back to the old house by the Smiths. Okay, and so here is kind of what the song lyrics are supposed to mean. And so it says it's themes of nostalgia, regret, and the bittersweet nature of revisiting past memories. The old house serves as a symbol for a place filled with both cherished and painful experiences, particularly those related to a past love. The lyrics convey a sense of longing for what was, while also acknowledging the impossibility of truly returning to the past and the pain that revisiting it might cause. Here are the lyrics here. We have Nocturna's here and we have Grant's. Nocturna's was Tonight by Amira Elfkey. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. And then obviously we have Grant's, which was Back to the Old House by the Smiths. So let's look at Nocturna's lyrics here. We could, yes, read all of these and I'll let you read those yourself. But I think it really goes together. So Tonight by Amira Elfkey is... its demo version express a deep sense of longing and dependence on a loved one, highlighting the pain of separation and the desire for connection. The lyrics convey that the loved one's presence is a source of comfort and relief from pain, and the singer cherishes every moment they share, fearing the thought of being apart. And so if we really look at these lyrics, to me it really seems like these two loved each other a lot, and I feel like Nocturna is trying to say that she still loves Grant and wishes she could be with Grant, and Grant is saying the same thing. He wants to be able to go back but knows that he never will be able to. So this leads to my theory. Originally I thought this picture here was of the vampire that turned Nocturna into an actual vampire, but I feel like this guy is actually Grant. And Grant was a human. Grant was not like a vampire at all, honestly. So I think I'm totally wrong with how I originally thought. I feel like this is Grant, this was Nocturna before, and this is Alara. So what I think happened is Grant is a vampire, possibly even a dragon, and I'll tell you why I think that in a minute, that ended up turning Nocturna into a vampire and taking her to Monsterverse. So the reason why Grant can't be with Nocturna anymore is because Grant is obviously not dead and not in Monsterverse, and Nocturna is now dead and in Monsterverse. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why she can't remember her name, obviously, because she kind of forgot a lot of what she remembers from when she was human. Maybe she still remembers some things. I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like this is her, and this is also right here was Nocturna as well. So Nocturna was the runaway bride. I feel like that she was kind of forced into doing this whole marrying this vampire guy, and she didn't want to. She wanted to be with Grant, but this vampire wasn't going to have it any other way and was forcing her to pretty much be in Monsterverse and be with him instead of being with Grant. Also, I'm also now wondering, is Alara actually Grant's daughter and not this new vampire? So obviously she's a vampire now, but what if in this baby picture, this picture up here, Alara was actually maybe someone else's daughter? Because Peach alluded to the fact that Lucian is not related to Alara in the way that I originally thought, which was siblings. So maybe Lucian is Alara's stepbrother. I am not 100% sure on that either, but I feel like maybe that would make more sense that they're not siblings in that way. And if you notice, Alara doesn't have stars in her eyes at all. But then, of course, we know that Nocturna has a star and a rainbow colored eye. And then Lucian also has stars, and he has 2 stars. So I feel like Lucian is actually the direct descendant of the dragon, which is why he has 2 stars and why he is supposedly super powerful, because he was actually the child of a dragon. And I feel like Nocturna is his mom, and the dragon guy is also Lucian's dad. So I also wonder this too, because you see the dad here in this picture, right, that Lucian drew for Father's Day or Fang Thursday, however you say it, I don't know. And you can see the hair is very similar to what Lucian's hair looks like. So if we go back up to this picture here, we can see obviously it's not the same hairstyle. Yes, I know you can do your hair different and change it and all that. So that doesn't necessarily prove it. But I do wonder though if that is why the pictures are so different, because Peach never does anything on accident. She's very intentional about everything that she chooses. So maybe Lucian's dad and Alara's dad are totally different. So maybe he has these 2 stars because he is the direct descendant. And that would also explain why Alara wouldn't have one. But I do still truly feel that Nocturna is Alara's mom, because obviously you look right here, it says Happy Momster Day, and that's definitely got to be Alara and Nocturna, right? So these obviously have to be mother-daughter, but I do feel like Lucian could definitely still be Nocturna's son. I mean, we really don't have any evidence for that because of this, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it is. Maybe not. Maybe they're not even connected at all, but that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. So I feel like maybe this is why he is so strong and powerful, and why he maybe even also has Robert protecting him. That could definitely be because he is a direct descendant of the dragon. And also, I swear somewhere Peach said that Lucian was born into Monsterverse, so that would also make sense. I don't remember if she said Alara was born into Monsterverse or not. Regardless of the fact, though, she could still have been, I guess, because, you know, that would still kind of work. But if this is the father and she has this picture, it would make more sense if she wasn't born into Monsterverse. But you do also notice that, you know, if this is Nocturna, she definitely looks a lot different. But she doesn't have the white hair here, so I don't know. I'm still conflicted on that whole thing. Which it could still technically be another theory. Sorry, I know this is kind of like going off, but I'm just kind of thinking, and this is what I originally thought. Something a little different is that this is not Nocturna, this lady here. This could be like Nocturna's sister, potentially. And Nocturna becomes kind of the stepmother for Alara and ends up, you know, raising Alara because her sister is gone, which would also make make Lucian and Alara not siblings. So that could definitely work also, and that this is not Nocturna. So I don't know. That's just another theory. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like this person is Nocturna, or is it Nocturna's sister? Because, you know, we also saw in the photos, let me pull these up. Okay, so we also saw, remember when we were doing the tour of this room, we saw this lady here in a lot of the pictures. And that's where we also saw this picture here. And then obviously she's here in this picture as well. And then we also have the picture beside the nightstand, which is the same picture as this one here. It kind of makes sense if this was Nocturna's sister, and then Nocturna ends up taking this same kind of, you know, accessory here that she wears on her head and uses it for herself, and obviously the necklace as well, to kind of remember her by, and which is why she also has pictures of her everywhere, because, you know, she remembers her and she's sad, and that she decided to take Alara under her wing and raise her, since obviously the sister could no longer do that. I don't know, it's really hard to know, because you can definitely tell that this person is a vampire also. But if you look, there aren't any stars in the eyes for this person either. So I don't know, there's still the question there. Okay, so it would make sense to me if Lucian was a direct descendant of the dragon, which would explain the stars in the eyes. And then also, you know, we see the picture over here. And then obviously Alara could not be the direct descendant. Alara would have maybe a different dad. And Nocturna could still technically be the mom. We don't know that for sure, but I feel like that is still true. And then if we look at the songs for Lucian as well and Alara. So if we look at Lucian's song here, Peach described Lucian as the song Red Swan by Yoshiki. So if we look here at the kind of summary, it says that explores the themes of hiding fear and lies behind a facade, questioning what is true and what to believe. So I feel like Lucian is having trouble because Nocturna describes the dad as being kind of evil because of turning her to a vampire and taking her out of her world and maybe away from Grant. And so obviously she's not happy with the dad of Lucian. And so he kind of, you can tell he's obviously happy, he loves the dad, but he has these conflicting feelings because he knows that maybe the dad had done something to Nocturna, his mom, that she's not happy about. So he's conflicted because he loves dad, he loves mom, but he also knows that there's this kind of evil side, and he maybe shouldn't really like dad as much as he does, but he can't help it because it's his dad. So maybe that's why Pete chose to use this song here. And then of course we have Alara's song here, and it's a song about intense possessive love and fierce loyalty. And so that kind of makes me feel like Alara is trying to play big sister to Lucian. And, you know, it talked about the willingness to do anything to protect the relationship and partner, even resorting to extreme measures if necessary. Alara wants to protect Lucian no matter what. And it could also be describing the relationship between Alara and Nocturna. She also wants to fiercely protect her mother as well, and she's potentially not really happy with Lucian's dad as well. So there's kind of just my new theory on the Bloodmoon family, that, you know, they don't share the same father, but maybe they share the same mother. And there are all these conflicting feelings around all of it due to how Nocturna was turned into a vampire. And in case you are forgetting, don't forget, Peach did say that the dragons are important and that the stars are important as well, and that we should look for stars on the characters because it really does mean something, which is why I'm getting the whole stars in Lucian's eyes and obviously Nocturna's eyes as being something important. So let me know what you guys think about the lore and the thoughts of the Bloodmoon family. Do you feel like Nocturna is Lucian's mom? Obviously, we know Nocturna has to be Alara's mom. And do you feel like maybe Lucian's dad is actually a dragon, which is why he has the 2 stars in the eyes, and why Nocturna, has a star in her eye and the rainbow eye because she was turned to a vampire by this dragon. And maybe that this guy right here is Alara's dad. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And also you can join our Discord and we can talk about that as well through the Discord. I do also have a link to this Prezi document in my Discord as well, so you guys can kind of go through all of these if you're new and haven't seen it before. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me ramble about the lore. Obviously, I'm super excited and cannot wait to find out all of the answers to these. You will know for sure sometime around October 17th. Obviously, it'll take a little bit of time to go through the questing and the lore, but I can't wait to start diving in and figuring it out. I should also get early access to the game, so hopefully I'll be able to go through some of these quests and kind of give you guys sneak peeks, but I don't want to ruin it for you, so I probably won't tell you everything. But beta is supposed to happen 2 weeks before release, so I can't wait to dig in. Please make sure you subscribe to know more about this game, Monsterverse, and also about any lore theories that I might have. I am also making a video on the trailer and dissecting that a little bit, so you want to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified. Join the Discord, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Raindrops!
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.